Y'all, I don't even know where I left off at, so I'm just gonna start over. I was in a business meeting. One of my colleagues asked me to switch my PTO with them. And I was like, let me check and see, because I think I have something planned for that day. I checked, I did. I had 2 consultations that day, plus other errands and things of that nature that I had to do. So I was just like, I'm not going to be able to switch with you. I'm sorry. They then let me know that they needed me to switch with them because their child had an appointment on Wednesday, which was my PTO day, and they accidentally booked for Thursday. And so they were hoping I would switch. Unfortunately, I cannot switch. I hate that, your child's doctor's appointment got mixed up, but I can't switch with you. I'm sorry. They start being rude. Like, I can't believe you wouldn't switch for a child. Girl, no, I'm sorry. I understand it's for a child. I get it. Your child is sick and I hate that your child is sick, but you booked the improper PTO day. And you telling me like I'm wrong because I won't switch for your child? I just felt like when you have children, a very harsh reality is that children can be an inconvenience. And you have to always remember, like, yes, children should always be protected and revered, loved on and nurtured by any and everyone and not harmed. But they're still your responsibility. And people in general can be an inconvenience, not just for you, but for others. This was just a moment where your child did not inconvenience somebody else. It inconvenienced you. Whatever you had going on in your household inconvenienced you. So we have sick time that we can use. I was like, why don't you just use your sick time for Wednesday and then keep the PTO for Thursday to like monitor your child after the doctor appointment? And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't have enough PTO, so I can't do that. Or sick time, so I can't do that. I was like, I said, well, just do non-comp. That's where you take time off and you don't get paid for it. And it was like, well, I can't afford to do non-comp. You might have to just cancel the Wednesday appointment and go to urgent care on Thursday if they won't let you rebook it. Are you serious? Ma'am. Yes, I'm being so serious. I'm trying to give you options, babe, because switching we already discussed that. I already said no. So like that, I'm trying to at least give you options, alternatives, but I mean, you just want what you want, so I don't know what to tell you at that point. Like, I really don't. I'm at least trying to give you alternatives. I don't understand why you being like so hostile. Like, it's just, and she actually, that's really when she became rude, because it's like, well, I tried to give you alternatives, so I don't really know what else to do from here. And then that's when she starts being rude. And then that's when you can tell she's upset, but that's when she starts being rude. So another colleague steps in. This was another Black woman. She stepped in on my behalf and was like, she already said no. Like, and she reminded that young lady who was a light-skinned Hispanic woman, she was like, listen, she's not responsible for your mishap and your poor planning. Like, you improperly entered the wrong PTO date. That's not her fault. And I have a child as well. I'm never going to be upset with someone else because they chose, you know what I'm saying, to keep their PTO. She doesn't have to switch that with you. And honestly, if I was her, you definitely wouldn't be getting switched with now the way you speaking to her. And I was like, that was once I said no. No was it. I never have a hard time saying no. When I say no, it's no. Okay? It's no. No. I don't care what we do after. When we circle back to that conversation, the answer is still no. Okay? No means no for me. I've always been like that. Yeah. A manager then who had been listening, and they're like, it's a child. They trying to level with me. You should have tried to level with me before she became rude. But I had already said no anyway, so it still would have been no. But it was just like, it's a child. And her child is sick. You don't have any empathy for that? I said, no, because everybody gets sick. Everybody gets sick, and I assume that it's not an emergency, because if it was, she wouldn't be asking me to switch PTO with her. She'd be at the doctor. So I assume it's not like an emergency. They might have a common cold. I was like, I think for the time being, she should give them some cold medicine and then take them to the doctor on Thursday. urgent care is open. You know what I mean? If that doctor doesn't have an appointment, there might be a local doctor, another doctor nearby that can take her son on Thursday. But yeah, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, everybody gets sick, so I feel for it, but if it was an emergency, she wouldn't be here right now. So I know it's not an emergency for me to, take it that deeply. And the manager was like, well, that just shows us, said the same thing. That just shows like what kind of person you are that you wouldn't give your PTO up for a child. I said, that doesn't mean anything to me. I know that I'm a good person. So me not giving you all what you want doesn't make me a bad one. That's not going to convince me to give up my PTO. Actually, I now feel like I should just leave this conversation alone because you all feel so entitled that you think I have to give up my time for someone else's child that I don't even know. I hope that they feel better though. And then they just kept talking. I didn't say nothing.